Deep in the countryside, far from the noise of modern life, stood the Hawthorne Hotel, a forgotten relic of the 1920s. Its wooden floors creaked under the weight of decades of silence, and the faded wallpaper carried whispers of a time long gone. Locals avoided it, calling it the hotel that remembers. They said once you stepped into room 203, you never left the same. James Carter was a travel journalist obsessed with haunted places. When he heard about the legend of room 203, something in his gut told him this story was different. And so, on a stormy evening, he arrived at the Hawthorne Hotel, unaware that the moment he crossed its door, time itself would begin to twist. Inside, the room felt alive. The wallpaper peeled in curling strips, the air thick and unmoving. A single lamp flickered on the nightstand, its glow reflected in a large mirror across the bed. The mirror was old, but its surface looked impossibly clean. Too clean. James set up his camera and microphone, documenting the space like he always did. He spoke softly into his recorder. Day 1. The Hawthorne Hotel. Room 203. The atmosphere feels different. It's like the air is watching me. He tried to laugh it off, but the silence pressed closer. Hours passed. The rain outside faded into distant thunder. Then, at exactly midnight, the clock on his phone froze. 12:03. The lights dimmed. The mirror fogged slightly, even though the air was cold. James looked up and froze. His reflection wasn't moving. It smiled. By the second night, James had stopped pretending he wasn't afraid. The room seemed to change when he looked away. The curtains swayed without wind. Footsteps echoed behind the walls. In the drawer of the bedside table, he found a small, leather-bound diary. Its pages were yellow, its handwriting elegant and old-fashioned. It belonged to a woman named Eleanor Wren, a guest from 1928. Her final entry read, "The mirror keeps showing me people I do not know. Last night I saw myself, but older. She told me to stay, said this room never lets go." As James read those words, he heard faint laughter behind him, the soft, distant echo of a woman's voice. When he turned, the mirror shimmered. Inside he saw the ballroom from the 1920s. Music, champagne, people dancing, then static. The vision snapped back, leaving only his reflection staring blankly at him. Sleep no longer came. James felt the boundaries between dream and reality dissolving. He'd catch glimpses of people in the mirror, some crying, some motionless, their faces pressed against the glass from the other side. He tried to leave, but when he opened the door, the hallway looked wrong. The wallpaper was different. The air smelled of smoke and old perfume. He ran downstairs, but the lobby was no longer modern. It was the 1920s, alive again. Guests laughed and drank under golden chandeliers. When James shouted, no one heard him. He turned toward a nearby mirror and saw himself among them in a suit from another time. The reflection smiled again, this time with understanding, then whispered, "You've always been here." By dawn, James no longer knew how long he'd been inside. His recordings had gaps, hours missing. The mirror's surface rippled like water when he approached. Inside, dozens of faces watched him, silent, waiting. He whispered, "What do you want?" And they answered all at once, in his own voice, "To remember." James dropped the recorder. The lights flickered violently. The walls bent and groaned. Then everything went still. When he opened the door, sunlight poured in. But the hotel lobby was covered in dust. The air was still, silent, dead. The receptionist's desk was gone. Only an old guest ledger remained. On the open page, one name was written: James Carter. Check-in date, October 11th, 1952. Today, the Hawthorne Hotel stands empty once more. Locals say on quiet nights, a light still flickers behind the window of room 203. Some claim to see a figure at the curtain, a man watching, waiting, recording. But the strangest part? Every few years, a new journalist, a new explorer, finds the story online and decides to visit. And the cycle begins again. Because some rooms aren't haunted by ghosts. They're haunted by memory itself.